Hi, welcome to the bathtub. For it is I, the old master bather, or as they call me in estimable Chinese, the estimable Chinese people refer to me as Pao Zhao Jiao Shou, foamy bathtub professor. Both are in terms of endearment and respect. I'm just doing a very quick one here. I don't know how much you guys, if you remember how this all works, but we look like we don't know what we're doing here. But that's kind of this is called the post-tech decade. And it's also the bathing with a vengeance decade. That means that we're just going to bathe right into this 3 more years of this craziness and the complete ridiculousness of our stupid planet and what we've done to ourselves. So we're just going to still go to the bathtub, okay? No matter what happens, no matter what you see in the newspapers. And there was one other thing I wanted to say, which was, so we're post-tech. We're like, you're going to see a lot of just so you know, you go to other YouTube channels. You like my haircut? The other YouTube channels I like also just high tech stuff. That's because they're well passe. They're all in the past. We blew past the tech decade. We're through with tech. We don't do fonts. We don't do we don't have those huge giant speakers they've got in their microphones with the headphones and everything. This is what we have. Bought that on eBay for about $50 5 years ago. And just to show you how bad we are tech wise. And this is progressive. It's good. So good tech is no tech. That's basically how we look at it here. This thing was not even working. 2 or 3 weeks ago, I found out it wasn't working. People were writing me on the side here saying, I can't hear you. I can't hear what the hell you're saying. I don't want to hear it, but I can't hear you. And I kept saying, no, that's because we have a really good. There's no problem with the sound because I got this cool microphone. So all these people told me for weeks and months, and it wasn't working. I found out a couple weeks ago. And we've got a proper wire now, and no tech, just me and you, no fonts, and it's just us in the books. Okay, I just wanted to say a real quick thing about we talked about Fredric Brown last couple of days ago. He was inducted kicking and screaming. By the way, I don't know if he wanted it or not, but he was inducted into the All Bathtub Hall of Fame. It's a very prestigious organization. Only dead people are allowed in it. We occasionally let living people in. I think we let Michael Moorcock in. I'm not sure. We may have a couple living people in there. But most of the time they're dead. And we really like Fredric Brown. And I started to talk about how I first read Fredric Brown as I got this cool Zamba collection. And I was sick. And I said I was in San Clemente. No, I was in Costa Mesa. That's where I had that stupid closet I used to put my horrible mattress in. Anyway, I was very sick. I had the flu. I read Night of the Jabberwock, I remember, just in a day of like temperature of 102 or whatever. I was really sick. And however sick I was, I really enjoyed this book. So the other day when we were talking about Fabulous Clip Joint, which is his first book and probably his most famous book, I opened it and I started rereading The Night of the Jabberwock, and I didn't put it down for 2 days. I really enjoyed Night of the Jabberwock. The second time I read it, I'd completely forgotten most of the story. But the premise is that Brown worked in the newspapers, and he also worked as a typesetter, I think, for newspapers. And it's about a guy, an editor of this small town newspaper, who's never had a big story. And in the very first, and he's always saying, I wish there had been a murder. Before I quit this stupid job, I'd like to cover a murder or some exciting story. And then he goes home, and a man comes to his door, the narrator is a Lewis Carroll fan. He's written a dissertation on, published a small book about him, and there's lots of quotes of Lewis Carroll all through the book, Night of the Jabberwock. And a man comes, a big, large man, he says, we have a special secret organization of Lewis Carroll lovers here in the middle of where the hell they are, I don't know, Missouri or something. And we're going to meet in a haunted house and talk about the ghosts or this spiritual belief they have about Lewis Carroll. Crazy opening. It just keeps getting better. It's just one crazy idea after another. Eventually, basically, I don't want to give too much of the plot. Excuse me. Now I'm sneezing. People complain about that. You guys can stick it in your ear if you complain about my sneezing. I can't help it. And I'm not going to cut it either. Okay. So, he starts off, he's going to go to this haunted house and talk to these Lewis Carroll fanciers. And then all these other things happen to him during the course of the night. He gets picked. He sees a couple of gangsters driving through town. Oh, look, he thinks a friend of his has been murdered. All sorts of crazy things happen. Every time he's about to solve one of these things and put it in the newspaper, someone calls him and says, you can't put that in the newspaper because of this, this, or that. Lucky, please give us a break. Anyway, I couldn't put it down. I really enjoyed Night of the Jabberwock. I'm just putting in this very, very brief piece just to say if you haven't read Night of the Jabberwock and you do like Fredric Brown, you'll get a kick out of it. It's just got a lot of great ideas in it. Okay, just I wanted to catch up with you there. That's my Beijing shirt when I went to Beijing this summer. And I was awarded the title of Pao Zhao Jiao Shou. Stay safe. Don't read the newspapers any more than you have to. And we'll be back very quickly with something else pointless.